Hello, I'm Captain Thyle. Welcome back to Sorcery, where I voice my own character as Goofy, which is why it's called Goofy Practice Sorcery. I don't know. Alright. I didn't read this last time, so I will now. Someone has fought to make a sign, perhaps a guide or perhaps a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dumpus, and a left turn points to Analia. Either way seems better trod. Either way seems the better trod, if you want to choose. Let's go to Analia, some random woman who lives in the woods. You should always bother people who live in the woods, because they're well-adjusted and stable people. The path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here. Although you cannot hear the water, after about half an hour's walk through damp shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the door has been painted with ordinate designs. The path ends here. Scout around it. You form a swift circuit around the hut, but find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is, a hut. Set by itself deep in the forest. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by beast jungle, they must be quite powerful. Knock on the door. You approach the door and knock. There is no reply. Open the door. You push open the door and stride inside. Into the house. That is neatly laid out. You detect a touch of fictitious. I'm sorry. It's late at night, so whatever. That's my excuse. That is neatly laid out. You detect the touch of a fictitious woman. Chairs sit around the table as if for guests. A mattress lies in the corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they are fond of cooking. Call out. Hello? Is anybody here? To your surprise, a voice answers quickly. Who's that? Who's that? Locate the speaker. Looking in the corner, hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Good stranger, she pleads. By which a young woman sound like an old troll. Good stranger, she pleads. Let me out of this cage, I beg you. What happened to you? Oh, good stranger, she wails. I have been locked up here for 2 days. It was elephants that did it. Those mischievous, prank-ful elephants. Please, you must help me. I have not eaten, and left me here, where I can see all my cooking things, but I cannot reach them. I'll help you. Going over to the cage, try the door. It's locked, of course. Use magic. What spell shall we use to save this poor woman? Dop. Or doze. Slowness. Slowness means you slow the cage down, not open it. You begin the spell. Analia watches you and must have some understanding of magic as she calls out to you. Oh, wait, what are you? But it's too late. The spell has taken effect. Analia has passed out on the floor of her cage. That's her falling down. Search the hut, of course. Perfect. Now you can search this place in peace. You begin carefully search the drawers and cupboards of the hut. It's very empty. Perhaps whoever locked the woman up robbed her themselves. All you find is 2 gold pieces and a pouch containing soft brown sand. Sand! Oh man, murdering this woman's all worth it for some sand. Take it all. Vixen. You pocket both and turn to go. The woman snores quietly as you slip out the hut. Yes, of course. As we all know, people in fantasy settings snore like cartoon characters. You retrace your steps to the last junction and take your turn to Dumpus. To Dumpus. To Dumpus. For real this time. If you don't know what that was, I'm taking a drink and just knocking so you know when I am and am not drinking. Because in case there's like 5 seconds of silence, you're not confused, like, where the hell's Captain Vile gone off to? He's left us all alone. No, no, my repressed fear of abandonment is coming back. I'm going to start crying now. Oh, wait, there he is. You walk for several hours, following the twists and turns of the path through the trees. Then suddenly, you stop. You heard the noise up ahead. Something is moving around between the rocks at the edge of the path. Wait and look. You hang back, watching the trees. There is definitely something moving around. Something large and long with a tail that whips between the trees. Not until you've seen it, you're at a definite advantage. Cast a spell! Oh, I can't do jig. I can't make him dance. Law. 13 stamina. What happened to my rest of my stamina? Oh, I cast a spell. Something doesn't take stamina. Dop opens up the doors and doze. Sure, whatever. You draw out the spell and the beast slows down, looking suddenly very sleepy and slow. At this speed, you don't need to fight it. You quickly walk away. Snazzy. Approaching Tompus. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and then emerges into a sudden plain, as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grass, and by its bank stands a tiny village. I should never record an audiobook. I would ruin it. Today has been a short day with few true dangers. With a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start I don't even know what that word is. Auspiciously. Even my vast vocabulary does not know what auspiciously means. Probably just well. So you begin the gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path into the village. Okay, you might want to work on your repetition there. My English teacher would kick off 5 points for that, buddy. Alright. Passing a sign which declares it to be Tompus. The streets are thin and narrow, and the buildings have been set close together as if trying to withstand a storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place. Explore the town, find an inn, talk to the villagers. You pass along the main path through the village. The pause outside a hut with several of the disheveled hill dwellers are sitting and eating. They seem deep in discussion about something. Several are shaking their fists in the air. Lifting back the canvas flap, you step inside. The hill dwellers stop talking immediately and look at you. One gets to his feet and gestures you forward. Bow my head. You nod your head once to the man, who returns the gesture. One of them calls something in their native tongue and points to your side, where your sword hangs. Out below them, the hem of your cloak. In broken common tongue, the first man croaks, "No weapons," indicates a table by the door where you can leave your blade. Look at the table. There are plenty of other weapons there, so the men appear honest enough. Remove my sword. Wow, I've gotten health. You unfasten your sword belt and leave your weapon on the table. The hill dwellers nod to show their appreciation, and beckon you to sit with them. They continue their conversation just as animatedly as before, speaking in local tongue that you cannot quite follow. But as they pour you a drink and provide food, they seem quite welcoming. Listen to their talk. As you eat, you listen, catching very few words here and there. Goblins, arms, Christianity. They seem to be very concerned. I've been there. Well, I've been there, you declare. The men nod, but do not seem surprised. Slowly, you piece together the story. The group seem quite sure that a horde of goblins are slowly planning an attack on Christianity. This is apparently one of the wealthier spots in the hills. They're discussing whether or not it's worth helping the village to defend itself, which means they might be offered some kind of reward. You must help them, you declared earnestly. Christianity does not help us, one of the men points out. We are rich. They are rich. We are poor. You will place them in your debt. The men nod, swayed by your ruthless logic and incredible IQ and brain energy and all that jazz, whatever. And you, how do you fight? The one man asks. I help those that need it. The men nod. Let the goblins attack tonight. Legier, we will use your strength. The evening draws to a close. The men thank you for your counsel and leave one by one. Explore the town. So, do I help them now? Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchants' huts. You browse for items worth buying. With your 7 gold pieces, your attention is taken by a finely woven skull cap, finely crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. Like food. Examine the skull cap. You pick up the skull cap and turn it over. Stolen from a priest of Daddy Lane, the merchant declares with pride. A fine piece of work. 4 gold pieces. You can tell from the feel of the cloth it has no inherent magic, but might be useful in spells. Try it on. You place it on your head. You feel nothing. Take it off again. Buy it. 4 gold pieces. We now have 3. We're poor. That's enough. The merchant smiles. You nod to the merchant. The merchant smiles. Is there anything else I can help you with? I don't have enough sleep. Work? Sure. Is there any work to be done here? I need to earn some money. Mickey cut me off. Left me to die on the street. The merchant sizes you up. You look like a good worker to me. One of my friends needs some digging done. I'm sure he'd pay you and feed you for it. Digging what? The merchant shifts uncomfortably. Does it matter? You'll find out. So, he looks over his shoulder at the path. I'm going that way now myself. You coming? Follow merchant. Do some digging. He leads you to a house on the edge of the village and introduces you to the householder, a stout man who is probably incapable of lifting a spade, let alone digging with it. Well, I'm ready to get started. Spade's out back, he replies with a jerk of his thumb. You walk through the man's house into the back garden. The smell is terrible. The job is not just to dig a new cesspit, but to dig a hole over the old one. It's going to be several hours of work that'll probably take the whole night. You collect the spade and dig stuck in the hole. You collect the spade stuck in the ground by the hole. Cast a spell. I'm a sorcerer. I use magic to achieve my goals. Pig. I grow, not the shovel. Strength. I need you to dig a hole for me. Okay. Lightning. You cast a hole and point your finger at the hole. You cast a spell and point your finger at the hole in the ground. With a flash, a burst of lightning flies from your hand and hits the ground. Earth explodes upwards, and the air clears. You created a fine hole. A little rough around the edges, perhaps you still saved yourself plenty of work. Collect my pay. Hey, we spent $1 on a fancy hat. You go back into the house and collect your money. 3 pieces. The grateful householder also provides you with some food as well, as a space on the floor to rest for the remainder of the night. You settle down happily and are quickly asleep. I did not help those guys kill the goblins. I got on the stuffy nose. Sorry if that's annoying. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Your thoughts are dominated by this strange woman in the hut who I left to die and robbed. In your mind, she has become younger, more beautiful than she truly was. Flowers seem to blossom from her hair as though she was grown from the earth herself. Overheard, you hear Overheard, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. Birdmen come from the ground. Perhaps before this journey is finished, they will come for you. Leave, dump it. I can't help those guys. I can't go to Christianity and warn them or something. Oh well. You rise early, dismiss the attentions of the householder, and head out into the street. Within a few minutes of walking, you are out of Dumpus and back on the road. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path heading up to the hills, and the other turning downhill alongside of a barren, lonely bridge. It is a village you can make on top of the hill. It seems a lonely place for it. Go. Save time. Mines. Abandoned mines? Hell yeah. Let's go to some abandoned mines. I've almost finished my drink. I've got like one gulp left. I'm drinking root beer, by the way. IBC root beer made with sugarcane. I prefer Barks, but we don't have any. In case you were wondering, Mugs is bad. I don't like it. Barks is better. And so is Snow Miser. Because it's December. Snow Miser is better than Heat Miser. Because Heat Miser rhymes degrees with degrees. You follow a... back on track. You follow a meandering path around the side of a hill for most of the morning. It's difficult to see the way around the tree line, but you trust the course, and eventually the ledge leads to left and right. There's no way forwards. I'd end it here. Let's get to the next thing. Looking left, you can see the narrow bridge is formed by splitting of the rock that leads all the way down to the misty valley floor. There's a path on the other side, but it's not clear from here. Look right. Looking right, you are taken aback, as out of the mist falls a very impossibly wide bridge that looms into view, as if only now fallen into place. It's made of planks, thick ropes, and suspended from this place to speak on their side. Who could have built it to marvel, and how long ago? Look at the bridge. I think it's a trap. You take a moment more, staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist, or is it a mere illusion to trick incautious traveler? Then it's time to move on. Getting to your feet once more, take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip here, and you might fall a long way down. We're going to go to the valley, but I'm just going to end the video here. So, thank you for watching. Goodbye.